to you guys, coming to you live from Maui. It is beautiful. In fact, what the heck? We'll show you. We got Diamond Head in Honolulu off in the distance. Let's see if we can give you a little peek here. It's a beautiful day on the island. Let's see. Yep, there's Diamond Head. And there's a little, it's just beautiful here. So having a blast. Had to share that with you guys. But for now, we're going to rock and roll. So today's topic is going to be tenacity. It's going to be follow-up. This will help you in the area of sales. It'll help you in the area of agent attraction. So welcome. Glad to see everyone here. So I want to involve you guys. I want to know, I'm going to share with you what I do to be tenacious. This is born out of, I bumped to an agent. He said, yeah, I reached out to you. You never responded to me. I'm like, really? Yeah. And it was like last October. And I went, sure enough, there was the text. I missed it. And so you guys, I wanted to teach you about copy and resend. Well, I don't want to be pushy. We need it. People need it. Your prospects need it. And so I want to hear from some of you in a little bit. I want you to really think about this. Did you use Instagram to reach somebody? Did you use Facebook? I would, like when I'm doing production and I want to reach John Foster and he's hiding behind his secretaries, right? I used to deal, anybody remember the REO days? You couldn't find the REO king, the REO queen. And so I would call like Shay Spitz or Coach Randy Bird. I go, hey, Randy, do you know Melissa? Oh yeah, I know Melissa. Man, I got a deal. I really need to connect with her. This is urgent. Do you have a cell phone feature? Oh yeah, here's Shay's cell phone. Here's Andrew Avalos's cell phone. And I would get their personal cell phone, stalk them on Facebook, Instagram. I want to hear from some of you guys what you've done to be tenacious. But again, do you email them? Because like some people love email. That won't work with me. You would never get me. How many of you know that? If you Instagram me, DM me or something, or reach out to me, I'm not going to get it. If you reach out to me on, what's that called? LinkedIn. That's not me. I mean, you guys may hear back from me, but it's not me. It's my VAs. It's my social media team. So, but the point is this. You know, for me, it's text, but for somebody else, it may be email. For somebody else, they want a phone call, or they want you to DM or they want to use WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp. That's like a big thing. I don't do that. You know, Marco Polo. But you got to hit them high, you got to hit them low, and you got to hit them fast. And you need to use some EQ, some emotional intelligence. Otherwise you come off as a pest. And I know that's what most of you are worried about. And you got to be smart about your text message or your email. Hey, Jason, this is Brent. Do you have a quick second? This is urgent. And they're like, yeah, what's up, man? And then you call, right? So don't go, well, Jason, I was hoping I could do an open house for you this Saturday and get back to me. You've just gone to the bottom of his priority list. It's not that he doesn't care about you or want to give you an open house. He's got other pressing, urgent matters to deal with. So if I say, hey, Jason, and then he'd be a little more clear, less nebulous. I'm calling you about Castle Peak in Newcastle. It's $1.8 million. You're going to love this call. Call me. It's urgent. It's like, sounds like an offer. And then I say, hey, Jason, I was going to be showing property Saturday. My day got freed up. How would you like me to hold it open? I know it's empty. I specialize in selling vacant homes. Nobody's better than me. I will go bust my tail on your behalf. My signs are generic. They don't say EXP. They don't say Remax. They don't say Keller Williams. They never did. So they just open house, and I'm on a roll. Report back to you. I'll tell you how many buyers came through, how many agents came through. Would you like that? They're like, no, I wouldn't like that. I have my own team. All right, thanks, Jason. Bye. Hey, Matt Moreno, would you like that? No, I'm holding it up myself. Hey, David Mills, would you like that? Heck yeah, I'd like that. I'm going to Napa. I'm going to Tahoe. I'm going to Monterey, Carmel. Thank God you called. You're an answer to prayer. My sellers are putting so much pressure on me to hold that house open. And so you got to be tenacious and smart about the way you reach out. So again, do you use Facebook? Do you text? Do you call? Do you email? Do you DM them? Do you use Instagram? All the different ways. So I want to hear from some of you. I want you to raise your hand. I don't want to hear something clever you did to either reach a prospect with 800 agents in his group, or to reach someone to get an open house booked, or to reach a listing agent who you're doing, sent them an offer, and now they're kind of MIA. How did you get creative and solve that problem? Nobody's raising their hand. Okay, one, I want more of you. Some of you, don't be shy. I want to hear your stories. This is how we learn from each other. Oh, Andrew, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, David Mills. This is how we learn. Some of you are going to go, oh God, that was brilliant what David Mills said, what Andrew said. So, okay, hold on. I just lost the entire Zoom. Bam. Is it back? Okay, I'm getting better at that. John, thank you, John. John Foster, you're the man. Okay, so we're going to go in order I got these things. We're going to start with David Mills. What do you do to get creative, to be tenacious, to not take no for an answer, but to not let them know that you're fully cyber stalking them like an absolute maniac? Because I just own it. I am. I will not be denied. But David, fire away.
If I get their voicemail or I can leave them a text, I'll let them know that I got great news. I need you to call me back. And people always curious about what kind of great news does he have. So that's what I tell them.
I love it. I love it. And I always like to tie it to a property or something. So they're curious, I think, so anyways, good. Thank you, David. Andrew.
Hey, Brent. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Enjoying life in Hawaii.
Thank you.
Hey, so, I've been using Instagram a lot, and, having Instagram as a target allows you to kind of see what people are doing. And for me, I think the biggest thing is every single day, for those people that I'm trying to attract, every day being part of their being a comment to what they post, making sure that I'm there like, hey, good job. That's great content. And they start to recognize you, and they're more willing to have a conversation with you, even side conversations off the mainline post, because you're bringing some value to them. And I really have feel like on a daily basis now that I'm just like, that's awesome. That's good. Keep going. I love what you're putting out there. That was a great article. That was good. This and that. It's like everyone really gets they like to hear that people appreciate what they're putting out. And the more that I've done that, the more I feel like they're open to have communication and conversation with me.
Bingo. Love it. So you're an integrator, and you're implementing, and best known represent is way better than not known at all. And you guys don't realize people look up to you. Like Shay Spitz, if you called them, they'd be like, oh my God, Shay's calling me. You're like, I'm just Shay. I'm a mom with 2 kids, 3 kids, and a husband, and I'm just trying to survive. And they, you just don't know. It's like, oh my gosh, Jason Justag's calling, and so it's in your head. I want more volunteers as you're listening to this. What creative thing did you do to reach someone for agent attraction or for production to do an in run? And John, but raise your hand, hit the reaction, raise your hand. I want you up here. John.
Always good to see you, Brent. I appreciate you having us on here today. The thing that you've coached me on a lot, Brent, is catch them off guard in a good way. So I'll be very specific. You've talked about magic moments all the time. Leslie and I are building a ton of momentum right now with agent attraction. How are we doing that? Like, I can give a few examples. I've had several people that I've been working on for a long time at my house for coffee. So I've got coffee and bagels at my house. Like, you don't really invite too many agents over to your house. It throws off they're like, what, your house? But it throws off like what they think that you're going to say. Normally it's your office or Starbucks. So that was one of them. The other one is we've taken several agents and couples out to dinner, like a nice steak dinner. It cost me $400, right? So, and that, again, it threw off what they were maybe expecting me to do. And did it cost me $400? Sure. But I mean, we've got a really great couple that's going to be joining EXP that's super excited, that otherwise was busy, right? So taking them out to dinner. Lastly, Brent, I would just say, just including the spouse. I've noticed that when I include the spouse, where maybe before I felt like I was doing something wrong or wasn't getting any traction. Once I included the spouse in the conversation, it was like everything changed. And so they got excited together, where before just the husband was like, they weren't committing to another meeting or coming to an event or whatever it was. So that's really helped me a ton. So just think, doing things that people don't expect you to do that's just different and maybe, like you say, magic moment, or make it special, or dinner, or your house. Elevate the standard a little bit of what people expect.
Yeah. We'll meet you out at Wise Road Villa Winery for a glass of wine, and they're having, a special wine tasting this Sunday afternoon. How'd you like to meet my wife and I with your wife and I, or your husband and I with my husband and I? That is awesome. Thank you. And personalizing it. What I got from John, it's very personal when you invite somebody to your house, and they're sitting like, well, my house, don't like my house. Then take them to a winery. And you're like, well, I don't have $400. Have a glass of wine at a winery, get to know people, or take them for tea. I don't drink. You're missing the point. I'll meet you at Noel Kreider's House of Tea. She has the best green tea and exotic teas from all around the world. You got to go there and try this. It's the Noel's Flower Farm. They have this great little coffee espresso bar. Let's meet out there. It's beautiful. It's like Little House in the Country. All these flowers everywhere. Oh yeah, I know that place. Good. Meet me there. And bring your husband, bring your wife, and I'll bring my husband, my wife, blah, blah, blah. So I love this. Really good. Jared.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just reiterating what was said. We have dinner with a couple next week. They used to be with EXP. They went independent brokerage, and I went to an event of theirs yesterday. So not only do I have my events, but I'll try to support their, like, other people's events. You just go show up and help them too. I mean, they had like 50 people that they had sold out an event, and only like 12 people showed up. So I think they were super happy that I was there, because they had like 10 vendors and 12 agents. And so, I talked to all their vendors, and I talked to, the agents, and I hyped them up still, as being great. And, they had mentioned, man, if we ever came back, like, it's under you for sure. Because they were not under me before when they left. So they said, we would love to be under you if we came back, essentially. So, it's just up there. But I'm having dinner with them again next week. We'll go out somewhere special, let them leave the kids at home and take them out for a nice night. So we hang out. I had a guy I recruited that called me about leads. He actually called through a lead service. And when I asked him if he wanted to sell his house, he said, no, I'm just an agent, and I wanted to see how this lead service worked. And so I was like, oh, no worries. And I helped him out. And then he asked me how business was, and I told him, and I asked him where he was, and he said he was with Remax. And I like to do like the non-sales sale. I told him like, oh yeah, man, Remax is awesome. I was there. It was amazing. And then EXP kind of changed the game. So obviously, now I'm there, and that's it. And so that like begs the question. They're like, wait, what do you mean? Then they ask, you're like, I was with Remax for 7 years. It was awesome. But then EXP changed the industry. So obviously that's where I'm at now. You know what I mean? And obviously they don't know what you mean, because they're at Remax. So, he asked me, and I think he onboarded like 48 hours later. Like, I'd never spoken to the guy, and he called me off of a random lead, and he's still with us. Yeah. He sells in like 3 states. So, and then the events, I've had a cocktail hour at my house where I just catered everything, and I had 60 agents come to the house. And because I do so much social media content, and I'm, posting up in my pool, and I'm cold plunging in the morning, and I'm talking to agents and talking to people in my sauna, there were so many agents that were like, yeah, we want to come see this dude's house. And so the second we did a happy hour at the house, it was like our biggest one. 60 people showed up, and I had to kick.
How many of them were EXP, and how many of them were guests?
On a typical cocktails for closers, we get typically about, if 35 agents show up, probably 20 are EXP and 15 are not. And then at my house, when we had about 60, it was probably 50-50, 30 and 30.
And you're not talking about really EXP at your house or whatever. You're just getting to know them on a personal level, right?
But we do brand our rev share organization. So like, I have the Omega Group. We got 8 or 9 people rocking Omega Group hats and shirts and this and that out of 60 agents. So what people start to see is like, wait, that guy's not on your team, but he has the same brand as you. Like, what's going on, right? So people start to see like, man, I'm in this. He's inviting me. I'm a part of his thing, but I'm not really part of the group. I'm kind of like, it's like you invited somebody to the country club to play golf for the day, and they're pumped about it, but they're not a member, and you're telling people like, well, you can be a member. You know what I mean? Like, well,
I love it. I love it. Everyone wants to be a part of something. They're not getting invited. So what are you creating? Now I'm going to change the story to protect the innocent. Then I'm going to go to Clark. Anybody else? I want you up here to share. This is great stuff to get you to think differently about what you're doing. I had a gentleman either in the Midwest or the East Coast or the West Coast. I'm not quite sure. This is a real story, and I'm changing. It might have been a woman, but this particular agent joined EXP, significant producer, threw a meeting and just assumed all the EXP agents would come. Well, A, don't do meetings for all the EXP agents in Denver or Washington, D.C. or Toronto. Do a meeting for your team and for your prospects. And if other EXP agents hear about it and you didn't spend $100 a person, don't be afraid of, hey, I'm spending $100 per person. You're welcome to come, but you got to pay $100 per person. And if you bring a guest, they got to pay $100 per person. But it's really and I could only hold 30 at the country club, and I pretty much got it full. So I always try to be super inclusive and just be honest with people. But but don't make it about, so this agent was so angry that the EXP agents didn't show up to support this particular producer. He'd been at EXP at like 3 or 4 weeks and just figured if they did a meeting, everybody would come. So they did a meeting, nobody came because this particular agent has a bad reputation in their particular town. And they're a baller, this and that, but they're not particularly loved. And not one EXP agent came. But to Jared's point, guess who showed up? I'm going to change the name of the company. Sotheby's. Sotheby's showed up. It wasn't Sotheby's, but a very well-known brokerage showed up, totally supported them, brought a few agents, and we almost lost them as quick as we got them to that brokerage. They're like, EXP is horrible. But the truth is, they were a little bit overly, it's like, you're not there to build. I'm in Sacramento building my thing, and I invite everybody. I invite agents that are not in my organization to work out of my office. I invite Remax agents and Keller Williams agents and Lions agents to work out of my office. I go, come on down, bring your laptops, print on my printer, use my copier, drink my coffee, my lattes, my mochas, enjoy my Pop-Tarts and my granola bars and my snacks. No charge. I got you, mi casa su. I'm an inclusive person. Now, if your office is 10 by 10 and you can't do that, fine. I didn't do that either. I just got that office, right? But I've always tried to be super inclusive. But don't go out of your way to plan a 300-person event, have 50 people come, and then you be mad at EXP. Be mad at yourself. Right? That's just not how this is done, guys. Clark.
So there we go.
There you go.
A couple things. One is that I really build event to event. I have a running list all the time. People don't show up to one event, I invite them to the next event. And I really promote it, just like what you say. I just call them or text them, hey, you got a minute? Call them up on the phone and promote the event to them. And I follow up with text. I include in the text a flyer of the brochure or a flyer of the event. And with you doing the May Madness, I got people come to almost every one of them, including Minnesota. And it's just the best way to follow up with them. And it's adding value. I'm not trying to sell them on EXP. They know I'm an EXP. I get them there, and then we talk afterwards. And pretty soon they see the environment, the value added, and then they're excited about it. I believe that 75% of our business is follow up and follow through. And it's 25% is prospecting. The rest is follow up and follow through. And that's always been my strong point in business because I didn't like prospecting as much. So I figured if I had somebody, I'm going to follow up and follow through with them, although I do enough prospecting. But texting, I also find out, I'll find out more about them on social media or wherever they're at. I'll find out who knows them. If I'm not able to get a hold of them personally, I'll call somebody who knows them because there's usually some kind of connection. And I'll connect with them, just say, hey, I really, enjoyed seeing you on Facebook. I noticed you're a friend of so-and-so. I have some things I want to really talk to him about. I think it would be value for you too. Do you have a way to get a hold of him? How does he normally communicate? And I'll find out information like that. I also follow up with text, and I do video text. I found that I've gotten really good results by just doing a video text to them. Hey, this is Clark. Just want to put a face with my voice. Hey, very excited about talking to you, or whatever it is. Obviously it's circumstantial or not circumstantial, situational. Depends on what situation I'm in with them. And I find pretty good response. And if they ghost me totally, I will send a message to them. Hey, we had a great conversation. Is everything okay with you? I sent several messages to you. Are you okay? And I just leave it at that, because I really am genuinely interested in them outside of EXP. I want to make sure they're okay. So, and I get good response on that.
Love it. Love it. Great job, Clark. Thank you for sharing that. Super good. He's probably one of the most tenacious people I know. How big is your group now? You got 50 plus in your group? How big is your group?
Well, we're coming up to 70 here pretty quick.
Good. Awesome. I love it. And with the new revenue share 2.0, you'll be getting paid on everything.
Yeah,
you guys hear me okay? My screen keeps freezing.
Yeah, we just filled out an ICA this morning on a cold call.
Good. I love it. Okay. Rob, before I go to Frank, I'm going to give you a heads up. I want to show the Pasadena digital brochure in just about a minute, and then the May Madness brochure in about a minute. So just kind of get those ready in the background. Thank you. Frankie, baby, let me have it, man. Good to see you. Is that Hawaii behind you? Is that the backdrop? Kapalua?
Kapalua. Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to share was, Brent, you've always taught me this, is that life is hard enough. And when we're in this business of trying to make a living for our family, there are people who vent everything on social media. Some of them don't produce. Some of them are big producers. Instead of recruiting them for real estate, I always go over and say, how's your family? What's going on? Because you always taught me win their heart before their head. And I've gotten calls, texts from people going, thank you so much for reaching out. That's my motto, because you've always taught me to love unconditionally. Just make them feel special, because people are hurting bad. And they put it on Facebook, which I can't understand, or social media. Just win their heart first.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is we just do that because that's who we are. You're a loving, kind person. If they come to EXP, great. If they never come to EXP, great.
That's right.
Is with me. That's beautiful. So awesome. And you're right. You got all these prospects telling you they're going through cancer. They broke their leg. They're going through divorce. They're having a hard time. Their spouse got laid off. And just be a friend and don't call them and be opportunistic and pounce, go love on them, because that's what we're called to do. Beautiful, Frank. Linda. Thank you, Frank.
Hey there. I just want to bring it up because of something he just said. I'm actually listing a RE/MAX agent's house this week. She's been a property manager for one of my clients, and my client is selling off all of her homes. And it's interesting because I have several other people on my team that are just like, oh, don't bother with her, or don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, I treat everybody the same. And it's not because I'm trying to get something. It's just because of who I am. And always follow up and always be kind. And I've been kind to this lady for a couple of years. I wasn't even aware she was a RE/MAX agent until she called and she said, listen, I'm going to be retiring. I'm moving up to North Carolina or somewhere, and I'm closing down my business, and I want you to sell my house. And I looked, and she said, I'm a RE/MAX agent, and her broker's been trying to recruit me for several years. I've gone to church with him for many years, and they're going to be stunned when I list her house. There's hundreds of RE/MAX agents here that could list it, but I've always been the one that's been kind to her, and I've always followed up, not expecting anything in return. And I think that's a lesson too. You just don't know. You don't know when something changes if you've been good to someone when they step up like that. So
beautiful.
I didn't do it expecting this, but
the more seeds of love and kindness you plant, the more beautiful things grow from that. What's the old saying? Do what you can when you can for as many people as you can, expecting nothing in return. Mm-hmm. It's so joyful to live life that way and not be emotionally attached to the outcome. Do they list their home with me? Do they buy a home with me? Do they move to EXP? It feels so good to give and to love. And then your purpose bucket gets filled, your passion bucket, because we're called to be a light in the dark world. We're called to help everybody at every brokerage, not just the ones that come to EXP, you guys. And so, if that's what you're doing, then you're peeing. You're EXPing, and that's not good. That's not good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we wrap this up today. We are going to do, I'm going to pull up Pasadena. I invented this last week. So we're going to pull it up. And this was last week, and every one of those people are speaking. Every one of this came from, we found the hotel Friday. Today's Tuesday. The Hilton Pasadena. We signed the contract Friday. We started making calls. Hey, we'd love to have you share 3 to 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. and it's 3 hours long, 9 to noon, and it's going to be. I have these happening everywhere. This one happens to be in Pasadena. Take a picture; it's ready to go. And then the next thing we're going to show you, and it's Limitless Sales 2024, how to have, bunch of listings, a bunch of buyers, how to increase your sales. We're going to blow the lid off the market. We're going to have speaker after speaker after speaker telling you how they did it, whether they're making it with social media, open houses, sphere marketing, by referral only, or maybe they just joined EXP 3 weeks ago and made their first sale, and they come up and go, I just joined EXP. I'm a brand new agent. Everyone's been so kind, so great. I sold my first house. It's $350,000. I'm so excited. I love this company. There's a 1-minute speaker. I want you guys to do meetings and have 1-minute speakers, 2-minute speakers, 3, and just move them through, baby. Move them through. Don't moderate on what they said. Wow, that was really great. Thank you, Matt Moreno. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, David. Thank you, Frank. So good. Our next speaker is Joseph Trujillo. Our next speaker is X, Y, and Z. We have agents that just sold $10 million homes. They have $19 million homes in escrow. Get them up there. Now, of course, that's LA. You think in your market, it might be a $300,000 home, and then they have one in escrow for $5 million. And in Oklahoma, that's impressive. That's like 10 million and 20 million. That's impressive. So don't get distracted by that. Clark, is that your old hand or a new hand you're raising?
It's a new hand. Is that date correct? Because for some reason I got June 15th.
It's no, it is Pasadena's May 29th. I get confused and say crazy stuff sometimes. So it's probably me, Clark. I apologize. Okay. It's May 29th. That is correct. June 15th, I will be in Puerto Rico for the month of June. Come out and visit me, Clark. Let's hang out. All right. So
I'll come out there.
Yeah, come on out, baby. I got a bed waiting for you.
All right.
5-bedroom place, mi casa, su casa. So the next thing, this is not ready for distribution. I don't think. We hope to have it ready Friday, unless Rob knows something I know. But I just want to, this is all happening. And you could see Bend, Oregon, XXXX. That's my latest little madness. I invented Bend, Oregon 72 hours ago. We're going to be playing golf, and we're going to do EXP Explained and briefing. So Frank, come up to Bend and golf with me, baby. I need you golfing with me in Bend, Oregon. It's going to be heaven. But you got Elk Grove, El Dorado Hills, Rockland, Castro Valley. If you don't know where that is, it's East Bay. It's by Pleasant Hill, Walnut Creek, Concord, Hayward. For those of you, just to throw some cities out in San Francisco, San Jose, that's where Castro Valley is. It's hosted by John and Leslie Foster, who are amazing. I got Vacaville, I got San Francisco, Pasadena, Roseville. By the way, the Roseville one, the Courage to Act's in the afternoon. That one's all about attraction. All the rest of these are production, with the exception being Roseville. That is all about agent attraction in the afternoon. And then Bend, Oregon is just purely, we're going to play golf. And at 1 o'clock, we're going to do, that's why it says 1 p.m. on the 22nd. And Rob, while you're listening, I decided to do it again on the 23rd at 1 p.m. because some people, I'd love to come, but I'm busy. No problem. We'll see you tomorrow. We're doing it tomorrow. And we're going to do it at a mortgage company, a title company. And I'm expecting 10 or 15 people, not huge turnouts in Bend, but we've recently sponsored.
If you can help me, I just spoke to Randy Bird's team. They don't know anything about it. So please give me details.
Yeah, I know. I cooked this stuff up on my brain. All this stuff I just invent and do. And you're like, but I don't have beautiful graphics like this. Take this, send it to a VA, say, I want to look exactly like this, and copy it. I don't know how to do this stuff either. And so this flyer is accurate, pretty much, I think, for every single event. When can they actually start distributing this? As soon as I put the final details for Ben, which I can have done today, Rob. What do you say?
Yeah, most of the links are. What was that? Most of these links are. Oh.
I'll call you in 10 minutes, Rob, with the Bend info. I got it all.
Sounds great. Most of the links are already up at brentgove.com, upcoming events, but this flyer, I guess we need to add Ben. I'm still waiting for the contract for San Francisco. I think I have it all dialed in here, but I'm still waiting for that contract. But yeah, we're pretty close.
Yep. So that's 10 events. Although we snuck Minneapolis under May. If you look at the date, it's June 3rd. but details. Anyway, but man, I'm out there. I'm making it happen. We are having a blast. We're gathering people. We're loving people. We're expecting, except for Bend, 100 to 200 people at each location. It's going to be great. If you got people, get them there. Rob, can you bring up the other flyer real quick? The one for Pasadena, just as we wrap this up. So again, there's a flyer looks like this for El Dorado Hills, for Elk Grove, for Vacaville, for San Jose. We're going to get you. They all look like this. There's different groups of speakers, but they look like this. And copy it. Give it to a VA and say, make me one just like it. For those people like, oh, okay, because you can try to describe it, tell them pictures with 1,000 words. I gave, just for fun, Rob, and I didn't prepare you, so if you can't do it, don't worry about it. Do you have the original Limitless Salt Lake City brochure? Because I did what I'm telling you guys to do. I don't not do what I'm telling you I'm doing. And and I didn't prepare them for this. And I'm sorry, Rob, if it's bad timing. But they did Limitless a week ago Saturday in Salt Lake City. 10,000 people came up. I liked the way it looked. What I do, I hate it when people say rip off and duplicate. I just don't like the way it sounds. I copied it. I like that. It's just a little more honest. I copy what I see that I like. If somebody has a website that is sexy and looks good, who built a website? I copy it. So I know Rob's looking for that right now as we speak. Any final questions as we wrap up today's 1% Club? I think this has been good. Oh, there it is. So if you look at
that's the best I got right now. I can't find the website, but
can't find. Well, I wasn't looking for the website. I wanted the brochure. So
that's what you. Okay, yeah, this is the best I got.
Yeah. So it's a little small picture of it. But I said, Rob, I like these colors. I like the word limitless. So we changed it to Limitless Sales 2024. I didn't want to get sued. So this had 10,000 people show up. And then you look at my Pasadena flyer. Personally, I think mine looks better. And I gave it to Rob and I said, baby, let's, there it is. Put them side by side, baby. There it is. And these are all speakers been contacted. They're all speaking in Pasadena. But so if you see things you like, copy it, but be careful with the copyright, right, Rob? And pictures when we copy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pictures too. AI can do you pictures now that you don't have to buy for $400 or $500. I used to spend $400 or $500 on a picture. Now I can create them with AI and I actually own them. They're mine. So
are they're mine too, right, Rob?
Well, they're free. So he wanted
the AI stuff. I thought you meant the stuff we were buying on my credit card.
No.
They're mine too.
No, he wanted an intense looking lion. I had AI create this for me, and so I didn't have to buy one. And AI did a pretty good job on an intense looking lion.
Back off that one a little bit. Back up and let me see the whole flyer. There it is. This is
just waiting for speakers.
Yep. We're going to add the speakers, but this one's coming up May 30th. It's a Thursday in Sacramento or Roseville. And so you could see Elk Grove. I turned it yellow and made it brighter. So it popped off the page. We need to do the same thing with Roseville there, Rob. But I want the cities to pop off. And then this one is all about learn how to attract agents and grow organizations. I'm going to have a bunch of speakers there. And nobody goes on for 30 or 45 minutes. That's kind of the old way. So the thing, I'm mixing it up and just boom, 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 and a good moderator. And man, Frank Crandall, that was awesome. Thank you so much. And now we have Melanie Weaver. Melody, get up here. And then Melody's going to come up there and rock the stage. And Melody's saying, wow, $8 million sale. Congratulations, Melody. That's so exciting. And now we have Andrew Avalos. Andrew, get up here. He's an expert in instant messaging and he's using it. He's got 8 homes in escrow. Andrew, tell him how you did it. Boom. And we're just going to add value. It's going to be awesome. Life is what you make it. And I'm having the time of my life. I love you guys. And I hope you feel this. I'll end with this. People, the old adage, it's tried and true. And it can be trite or whatever the word is, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Go give them your heart, go love them, go hug them, invite them to picnics, invite them to farmers market, invite them to downtown pumpkin celebration. Okay, it's May not be up on. I hope you did stuff for Cinco de Mayo. You kind of missed that one. You can create a happy Cinco de Mayo celebration, late Cinco de Mayo celebration. Just have make fun of yourself, Love you guys. We will see you in 5 minutes for Mastering Sales with Franco. Mwah. See ya.